and welcome to another episode of Crusader Kings 3 as we continue playing as the Empire of Benin in our attempt to unify Africa. And I noticed that Iceland, or Island, is independent again. I'm not sure when that happened, I just noticed it. Byzantines seem to have survived most of their entire internal strife. Now the Abbasids are having some trouble. Otherwise, looks like it's more or less the same. Still a lot of sin in India. So, my thinking here for a moment, anyway, is for these people who are of our religion. So there's basically 1, 2, 3, 4, these 5 that border us. If we might want to try to put our dynasty in charge there without conquering them yet. We eventually will need to. Just to increase our renown, because that's one of the problems. We're getting a lot of renown from, like, living family members, although that's capped at 100, so we're not getting that much, really. But, you know, we don't have a lot of foreign leaders, which are of our dynasty, just because we've conquered them all. So there's a couple of things that we might be able to do with that. We could, if we get any people who have external claims, we might be able to set up a marriage so that any of their kids are of our dynasty, and then press their claims. I don't know if we have anyone here that really has claims. I can check. I have a claim on some county. I think that's internal, though. A lot of these people just don't have any claims. Another claim on a county. I'd be more interested in a claim on at least a duchy. None of these people... Well, let's see. Couple counties... They have a couple claims. They're a good physician. But those claims look like they're... Oh, one's over there. That's one. Where's this one? So there's several way over here. But they're unpressed except for this one. So they're likely gonna go away. Also, he already... Well, he's married to an Otis, to someone of my dynasty, but it's not matrilineal. So it doesn't really help. So again, I think for the moment, we're trying to sway this guy. Because we were pretty close to being able to do a matrilineal marriage to put someone in our dynasty to marry his heir. But we were short because they didn't really like us. So we're trying to improve that, but otherwise we're mainly just waiting for renown to try to disinherit people before we die, which I'm not sure we're going to be able to. And otherwise, I think just to gain money to improve our situation. So the next thing we wanted to do is we wanted to get 1,000 gold to build this grand temple in Ife. No court physician. Well, we had someone right here. He's blind, but apparently he would be a really good court physician. Can we not hire him? Visiting our court. But it doesn't say that we can recruit to our court, which is interesting. No longer a ruler. My daughter. Really? Okay. Well, is there anyone in our... yeah, our High Shaman's pretty good. 21. Given our High Shaman does really good with the high learning, I often end up putting them in charge of being court physician as well. So, empty council position. So one thing I learned here is apparently one does get potential penalties and based on these levels. So apparently you want to have at least 8 or else you'll be like guaranteed to have negative results. Like none of our vassals really are really good here. So I think I'll just put him here. So since he's 22, he can only have... He's so good he can only have like positive. I think it's 8. I think you can have... You need at least 8 to have a chance at having a positive result. And you need... And if you are 16 or above, I think, you eliminate chances of a negative happening. So if you're over 16, you can only have positive. If you're under 8, you can only have negative, I think. That's how it works. She's still getting money. We can negotiate an alliance here. Did we sway there, or are we just... Did we just... Have we just never started it? We're still getting 50 gold a month, which is kind of insane. My wife again is once again absent. I guess I'll just say that just to not upset her. We're performing duties. Alright, so this was... So we can blackmail her. Well, this is a strong hook, too. So now what does it look like here as far as... Well, I guess if we're not gonna conquer these guys and instead try to put the people of our dynasty on their thrones, that's actually less of a thing now, right? So I think we'll just go to disrupt schemes, and we could probably just get payment for these hooks. this is a weak hook. She almost has enough money. Now, this is a strong hook. So we can request payment for this every 5 years. I think we'll fast forward this. A single leaf. We were traveling to another village when we decided to take a quick break along the side of the road. I rested against a tree and dozed off for a while. I only woke up when I felt a leaf from the tree land on my face. I picked up the leaf and twirled it in my fingers. Looking up, I mused out loud, perhaps a little absentmindedly, did that tree truly come from that tree? I lost 6 stress. Alright, fine. Someone is plotting against my champion. Alright. Fabricate hook. Scheme. Another fabricate hook scheme. We have the 1,000 gold now. I'm heading for my chambers to enjoy some blessed sleep when I hear... Alright, so someone is trying to seduce my champion. Alright, so let's start let's build this. 5 years. So he was swayed. So let's see. If we can do this now. So he's 6. I guess I just want to make sure it's not our... So it is... Well, maybe. So this is our heir, whose heir would be this. Who's okay? It would be our heir's heir. So we actually don't want her. Should be named something else. Oh, we already have an Abeke. Alright, fine. Guess we can go here. Well, actually... Right, this is the one where, we'll probably end up disinheriting her. Because... while it's in our dynasty, it's not in our house. So, unless some really weird shit happens. Let's do this one still, just in case. They still won't accept. Marrying, so the marrying down is actually a big... debuff there. So I don't know if there's... There's a daughter. Is this the right... This is the right one, right? Yes. Okay, so... If we marry our daughter, he'll do it. So let's do that. So their kids should be in our dynasty now. Assuming nothing weird happens there. So we might be able to kind of pull something else here. Problem is I don't know if we have any sons. That we could do it with. Because I don't know if she'll do it. They'll do it with like a grandson. What's our youngest? 6. They won't accept. Again, the marrying down penalty here. Wait, I'm her liege? Well, she is under... So I guess when she takes over, yeah. Since they only have county titles and she's already a county holder under one of our lieges, when she takes over, this is going to become part of our territory. So I guess that's already kind of dealt with. Now, this is a duchy. Now, we could try... Well, we could try killing her, but the problem here is, again, we don't have any sons to marry away. I'm not sure we have any daughters left to marry away either. Because if we do that, and now she's betrothed. Yeah, so we probably aren't going to be able to do that. We're not going to have any more kids. So we're probably not going to be able to do that until we die and we have someone take over. Sure. I'll let you pay 65 to get out. And that must have just happened. Because they just disappeared. Where... What? What happened here? Was she... Wait. Yeah, so... The leader here must have died. They had multiple county titles. So they got split. So not all of them came under us, but the big one did. So now we still have her. She's stupid. But again, I'm not sure, yeah. They actually would do it. This could be just a matter of opinion that we might be able to improve on. This minus 37 won't accept, but he's minus 67. So let's try to sway him. Maybe we can get this. Look at all these titles that can be created. All these kingdoms, all these duchies. I don't want to create the empires, because that would split up our realm and that would be bad. The kingdoms we would have to see. At some point, something I would love to do, but would probably be really destructive. Now my wife doesn't like me anymore. She became my rival. And again, there's nothing we can do about it because she has a strong hook on us. So, like, we can't even plot to murder her. Alright, so, so his spouse must have died. Alright. He's wounded, he's flagellant, excellent. So let's see, this kid has hyperlexic, so diplomacy and learning. The granddaughter doesn't have anything. Doesn't have anything. So probably, how old is he? 32? He probably, again, should just go find someone with an inheritable trait. The Amazonian's pretty darn good, honestly. This one has 2, Hawk-Eyed and Beautiful. And we get an alliance with the Kingdom of Gur. She's 12. Which is kind of weird. But, I think I will do that. We apparently can attempt to imprison criminals, although we really haven't had very good chance to do that. What's our dread looking like? We could probably... Do we still have people we can execute? Absolutely. Back up to 95. So he's like not terrified of us or anything here. He's not brave or anything. Maybe his martial... I don't know what, I don't know what necessarily causes that. Scammed. One of my close servants seems rather sullen lately, so I asked him if anything was wrong. He told me he recently was sent by my cook to buy a pig. He bought what he thought was a healthy piglet in a bag for a really low price. However, it turned out the bag contained not a piglet, but a cat. Again, amused, which gives me +1 diplomacy. I lose 19 stress. I don't know if we've seen this in this campaign. I have seen it before. Basically, the context is in the old days, this was a common scam where someone would try to sell a piglet in a bag. But it would actually be a cat. So if you didn't check, you could buy a cat in a bag instead of a piglet in the bag and get scammed for it. So, my 2 vassals are locked in battle with each other. This Ghanan de jure war for County of Mime risks disabling my realm. So I could persuade them to put their quarrels aside. Which I think I'll do. Which ended. Been hosting where they impose... Oh, great. My Chancellor did something bad. Honor to serve. Powerful vassal Counselor tax contribution plus 20. Powerful vassal counselor levy contribution plus 20. Sounds awesome. He was swayed. I'm going to try to sway him a lot more because he's really negative. Probably could, yeah, build some buildings here. So, control growth plus 1. We get some levies. We get more levies. We get... The spearman damage would be good. I don't know if we have any heavy infantry. I don't care about the raid time. Let's do this one. And they're still building stuff in all of these other ones right now. So we almost... we almost have enough piety to disinherit someone else. Proud through... Okay, so this was... this was getting this county, wasn't it? I think. Up here. We have an empty council position. We really have shitty... Oh, wait. Chancellors. Oh, no. We have a great chancellor here. I was looking at the wrong thing. Excellent. So she's not my direct vassal. If it will let me... Oh, okay. So, we would have to take this whole Duchy of Oyo away. Which is actually almost all of her land. So I'm not sure how much she would actually like that. You could see. I mean, yeah, I mean, she'll accept it. Then Oyo becomes my vassal. Alright. So then we would need to retract this vassal. It's what, the Yagba, I believe. She actually has a lot of good traits. We should consider having her divorce her spouse and marry into... Well, I don't know who we would have her marry into. She is still in our house, so that would be good. But, yeah, I mean... Anyway, she will accept this as well. So now, we can revoke her title, which she will allow. Alright, so now that's our title. And we can probably transfer this back to her. And now we have this other holding, which we need to increase control in. We got like 10 tyranny from that, but I think that's probably fine. Now, do we want to fabricate claims anywhere else? Most of these things we would probably be able to just declare holy wars on, I would imagine. Because they're all either Christian or Arab, pretty much, I think. Like, there's some people, like here, with the Canaries. But, again, we were wanting to try to get our dynasty in charge there. Alright, so I think we can disinherit here now. Now, is he the one? Yes. So he's the one that we could give a kingdom to make him happy again. So let's disinherit him. But we can also grant him this kingdom title, which will actually more than make up for doing that, allegedly. Okay, so that leaves him as the only one. He's still getting the Duchy of Ife, which is not preferable. So we might... I'm not sure we're going to be able to... Because if we need 225 again, we're talking about what? Let me pull out the calculator. 225. We have 11, and we're getting 4.2. So we're talking 50, basically 51 months, which is 4 years, 3 months, I think, if my math was right there. I already closed my calculator, which was a bad move. 51 months divided by 12. Yeah, 4 years, 3 months. So we would have to live to 67-ish. Almost 68. Which is not completely out of the realm of possibility. Although we do have poor health. If we had fair health, it would be a lot more likely. I'm not sure there's much we can really do about that without some random events. So it's possible, but unlikely, I would have to say. Unless we get some random events that increase our renown. Actually 4.25, which might reduce it by a couple months. But, we can grant vassals to rightful lieges. We should probably do that. I wonder... So now, since we only have the one other, if we claim this duchy... Now, what does that do? They just get 2 duchies. I guess in lieu of him getting a kingdom? So what happens if we, like, make a kingdom? Where's that duchy? And what kingdom is it in? Kingdom of Loma. That's one that does exist. Which is kind of sad. Can we make a duchy for a kingdom that doesn't exist? Yes, we can. How much does that cost? 600 total? I'm just thinking, if we can make another kingdom and a duchy, maybe he'll take that. And then we can keep Ife. That might be the best way to try to manage that. So we should probably try to give away this duchy to someone. So who... She only holds a title. A single title. They only hold a single title. Alright, so all the first three would be pretty decent to give away. It's just a matter of... So 1,800 levies. 1,400 levies. I kind of want to give it to the person with the least levies. 1,100 levies. But she has... I'm trying to figure out the math here. She's missing 225... 325, 375. She would have about 1,500 levies, I guess, at full strength. I don't know if any of these other people were... So I might give it to him. So this was what? This duchy? Yeah. Oh. Okay. And I get... Okay. So once I have 600 gold, I'll try that other thing. And I just got it. So... It was... this duchy and this kingdom. So create title. Okay. And then create this title. Now what did that do? Yes. Okay. I bet that worked. And now if I go down to this duchy... It's going to our player heir. Excellent. And I think even this county is going to our player heir. And where's the other duchy of ours? Here. Player heir. Excellent. Excellent, 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 excellent. Okay. So I don't have to disinherit him. We might get a penalty for the rest of our lives, however long that is, for having the extra duchy. But I think that is worth it. So having all these titles that we can create is actually not a bad thing to just kind of have lying around for that specific purpose. So again, I think we'll just continue. Some things are getting built. We don't really have the money. Propose alliance. Despite our lack of bonds by blood, I believe we both stand to gain. So this is a county somewhere. Is this... Where is this? Someone in the Kingdom of Nubia. Oh, right there. Sure. You have 1,300 men. He's even Coptic. I'm almost surprised he formed an alliance with us. Ah, so the walls of Benin got constructed. Excellent. So I wonder what that does for... So increased development. Building... Okay, so let's see. Development growth plus 0.6 a month. That she isn't even that good at this either. But hopefully that will help that a lot. He's swayed a bit more. Okay, they haven't like betrothed her away yet, so that's good. He'll do it. +1. That is his heir, so... Excellent. So let's... There's someone who I apparently need to increase opinion with. Let's try to do that before we die, if we can. We're up to 64. Let's see if there's anything we can build. I guess we can't build these because of money. Guardian can be assigned. So... she can do money or learning. Learning is better for her. So this is one of my daughters. Okay. And I also need to check, let's send it to her. I also needed to check my heir's kid. So they're doing education focus. Who's her current guardian? It could do better. Do we want to convert culture? Yeah. Make her Yoruba. They'll still accept. Something weird was going on there. She's doing martial. Does she have... She does. A terrible martial. Alright. Let's offer guardianship here for someone else. Preferably someone who's our... 11's not fantastic, but, well, here's an 11 and a 17 learning. Now, let's do that. Convert culture. They'll do that. It's in proposal. Excellent. If I wasn't so old, I'd consider, Oh, come on. Their smallest kid is not, old enough to really do anything. But hopefully... I could probably execute someone. Guess what? It's your time. Try to keep our dread up. That's probably the only thing keeping this together. This is gonna be pretty bad when we when it goes down to our son. Because he is gonna have plus 30 attraction opinion, though that's not necessarily opinion. But people really don't like us, which is going to give us a big penalty for when our heir takes over. Hey, we got those, so we probably should start making those. Okay, so movement speed's not the worst thing. Armored horseman's okay. Development is okay, I guess. Naval speed is almost irrelevant. We're already getting this in 10 years. Let's do horseshoes, I guess. So we'll get that in 21 years. Empty council position. Our chancellor died again. Luckily we have someone who's a pretty decent chancellor take over. So we should not do what I just did. So we need this to replace our onagers. And where are they? Here. We're going to need to try to increase those sizes, preferably quickly. Whole bunch of truces ending soon, apparently. For months... Okay, so someone's trying to fabricate a claim. Alright, so that would get it up to 6. An artist of death. A strange mercenary has come to my court from faraway lands. She's a woman, for one thing. Like, I mean, we don't really care about that. We've been equal since the start of the game. Though not too old, she bears a number of battle wounds, and her demeanor suggests she is tough as nails. She tells me, if a bit ominously, death is my art, and like all artists, I seek a patron. For a mere handful of gold, I will follow you into any danger. So I can say she's an unconventional sort, but she looks like she'd be a great bodyguard. So I get dangerous Amazonian bodyguard. I get martial intrigue. I lose a little prestige a month, which is fine. Hostile scheme power, hostile scheme resistant goes up. I mean, that's okay. I will politely thank her for the offer nevertheless. I gain prestige. I mean, this isn't... I mean, our entire culture would think this is stupid. I mean, this doesn't really give us... I mean, we're not doing schemes. We're not fighting. We're not doing intrigue. And so we would basically be taking an unnecessary prestige hit for basically nothing. So, I mean, she seems cool, but there's nothing we really gain from it. So, I will politely decline. Oh, my son and friend had another kid. So, we already have an Abeke, we already have an Enatin, so you can name it whatever you want now. The wife of my rival and vassal has exposed my wife's affair with my rival and vassal. Excellent. So I can say, my love, I beg of you, let this folly end. There's no percentage chance on this. She might end the affair, in which case I get a strong hook on her, so we would have a strong hook on each other. I lose the unfaithful opinion towards her. They stop being lovers. Or she loses an opinion of me. I could get, but I can't. Because she has a strong hook on me. So what happens if we have a strong hook on each other? Drop the act, she said, scoffing loudly. No amount of tears will make me change my mind. Stop wasting your time and mine. But, like, I mean, that's kind of the logical thing for her to do. Because she still has a strong hook on me. So, is this something... Maybe that's something that happened, like, but in reverse. They gave her the strong hook on me. I wouldn't be surprised since we're an adulterer. But, like, we can't do anything. We can't divorce her. We can't scheme against her. We can't imprison her. We can't do anything. Because she has a strong hook. So, I don't blame her for basically being like, I can do whatever I want. See if any of these people will let me arrest them. Probably not. I've kind of been surprised by how little... Like, he's terrified, but that's still not enough. Like, we get a plus 142 because of terrified and difference in our military strength. But minus 50 because he's our rival. Minus 32 because of his intrigue. So, you know, we have intrigue problems. His opinion of you minus 30. What's our wife's intrigue? Not... Meh. Like, he has 16 intrigue. Like, this won't... Like, he's not scared of me at all. Intimidated by me, but again, my rival. And her intrigue. So, why is her intrigue... She has 11 intrigue. This is my wife. Well, I can't do that because she has a strong hook, right? Like, her intrigue's only one better than mine. But she gets a much bigger boost to the intrigue than I do. Maybe because she's paranoid, is that why? The personality? Success chance minus 36%. There are few things I enjoy more than his company. Alright, so hanging out with friends, I lose 13 stress. The carps. If it is a pond for carps you are interested in, I can build you a terrific one. The builder before me has good credentials, and my courtiers seem very excited about the prospect. So every courtier will gain 20 opinion to me, at least 300 gold. Is that truly the best deal you can give me? So we still get the opinion boost. I only lose 150 gold, 82% chance. And I gain 100 stewardship. Or I could say stop wasting my time, which I kind of feel like I would do. I don't feel like that's a very good use of my money. Someone's plotting to kill my champion. I have some money. Is there some things... Is this because I don't have the money? Yeah, I need 250 there. And I need 200 there. Alright. Well, I was about to say, next month I should be able to... Yeah, I mean, I think... Oh, I was about to say, until I die... But before I could get it out, I died. Okay, so... I've just died of old age, which is kind of what I figured. Was dreaded, exalted among men, faithful. Fought in 9 wars, 1 offensive, 7 defensive. That kind of shows... Well, part of that was because we had a lot of civil wars we kind of had to deal with. And then people, all other people tried to take advantage of that. And also we were more interested in making money. So we only lost those 2 titles that we created for the express purpose of having him inherit that. So we basically inherited everything I wanted to inherit. Now he is up to... We are 1 over our limit. So we'll need to do something about that. 14 years. I'm kind of not surprised considering when we took over there. So we took over at 51. We're not that much younger. We might rule for 20 years if we're lucky. So that was Enaton the 2nd/6th. We are now Enaton the 3rd/7th. So we have Overseer. So let's see, what do we want here? We actually have pretty good martial skill. Do we want a... I don't know about attraction opinion. I kind of think about Dread again, maybe. And control growth. Yeah, I'll have to deal with the above domain limit. Okay, so... You're a pretty decent diplomat. Is there, yeah, he's better. Pretty good intrigue there. You're good at intrigue, but really nothing else, so I think we're definitely going to put you here. Who's our best money person? 10. 10's not great. I mean, it's not terrible, but it's not great. Who's our best? We have 12 here. Then we have the 24. Alright. I mean, could be worse, I suppose. Why is my spouse in jail? Wait, that's not my spouse. There she is. We're still wounded. Okay, we do have a physician who's pretty good. So we probably don't have to worry about that. We probably should change our... Convert to local culture. We're at war. Really? With who? Again, we're an ally, which is kind of like 20. This war's been going on for 2 years. I don't know if we can make them stop fighting. Because the problem is I don't think we can because we're in the war. I prefer to not get involved. But I don't know how much longer this war is going to take. We might have to get involved. Okay. I'm assuming this is my title probably because of my culture. Which like I said, I want to try to change if I can. So we don't have any powerful... Well, it says we do. Oh, they're, yeah. Because, again, we don't have culture. Who's the leader? And where are they? Up here? They are besieging this... I think I'm just gonna raise my men-at-arms just to... I'm kind of surprised our... We do get the +2. Oh, there was something else here that... Oh, we must have gotten one from a skill. Well, there was one here. Not Oyo. Yeah, we have this Duchy of West Darfur, which... I don't particularly need or want. I doubt we'll be able to disinherit anyone. Well, I probably need to become, there we go, the dynasty head. Oh, and I get stressed because I'm forgiving. Well, it costs less, 150. Yeah, I don't want to get involved in this war, but we need to end this quickly. Just because we need to... I want to change culture. Like, ASAP. We're at 84%. My daughter. So this is my second daughter. I don't know where. Guess they're following that army. That's fine with me. Okay, good. We won. It's banned. Yes. Convert to local culture. Yes. So now we don't have any hostile in the new culture head. All right. And now we actually, okay, we did, okay, that was a culture thing. So now we do have enough. Okay. Whew. Read biographies. Yeah, inherit titles. And apparently negotiate alliances, which I probably should do, since there are with our vassals. He's likely... So, like, these guys are actually likely to accept. Although, we gain stress because we're forgiving. Let's hold a feast. First thing. We lose stress. But it also increases our opinion with people. I'll do that, and then I'll probably end the episode here. I wanted to kind of get the setting up things out of the way here. Oh, great. So I either gain 40 stress or gain 20 stress. I'd rather... But, and he gets opinion of us, so... Okay, my son, which is my youngest son, gave birth to a daughter. The wine's gone. We don't have the money, so I guess we'll all have to pitch in. I can give my wife the credit, which I probably should. They get increases direct vassal opinion as well. And a pretty decent feast. Okay, so I'm willing to release... he's actually pretty good prowess. So I think I will accept that. Okay, so... we have our 60 of these now. So I think we'll just get rid of this. For now. We probably should give ourselves another men-at-arms regiment, but that's for another episode. So yeah, I think that is where we will leave off for today. We have Emperor Eneton III, although the kingdom, I wonder... Yeah, so even with the kingdom title... It reset the numbers, even though for this title, he would technically be Eneton VII. And he's not a crazy murderer, incestuous adulterer. Although I'd love for him to lose his wounded penalty here. He's forgiving, zealous, and wrathful. I mean, wrathful's not great, but... the other ones are okay. He just has a bad martial education, although his martial skill is still fantastic. And we'll probably need to start going through the process of disinheriting all of our kids, as usual. I wonder when we'll finally get up to High Medieval. High Medieval in the era has not yet been reached by the Yorubas. Progress 17 out of 100. It says 8 years. If it's only 8 years, that's not too bad. That's not available until 1200 AD. Alright. Well, like I said, thank you for watching, and I hope to see you here next time on Crusader Kings 3.